So in this video, I'm going to share my CV, how I built my CV, and this CV helped me win 2 Erasmus Mundus scholarships, 1 Cardiff University's fully funded scholarship in the UK, and 3 to 4 PhD positions in the US, Canada, and Australia. So I believe this is one of the most effective academic CV. And if you are building your CV and if you follow this technique, I'm pretty sure that you can also win some of the scholarships, some of the academic positions if you want. And by the way, we have also reviewed more than 200 to 300 CVs of different students, and some of those students got Erasmus Mundus scholarship, Shivning scholarship, Dart scholarship, and those stories you can see on our website. And you can also ask us to review your documents. We have a team of professionals who can help you in your academic journey, in applying abroad, securing scholarship, reviewing your academic documents like LOM, LOR, and your CV, of course. And now coming to the point of academic CV, what should be the maximum length of academic CV? I know so many people suggest to that academic CV should not be longer than 2 pages, 3 pages, but this really doesn't matter unless it's all relevant to your program that you're applying. Any length of CV is okay. Because I have seen people winning Erasmus Mundus scholarship, even Shivning, with 6 pages of CVs, and I have seen people winning Erasmus Mundus scholarship with 1 page of CV in some of the programs. So length of CV really doesn't matter. Now coming to the point. Now you can see the template on screen. So first of all, the first point, we will go to each section step by step. The first section in a CV should be your personal information, just the name is enough. And then you have to include your email. That's the mandatory part. Then you also have to include your address. Address should be like your city and your postal code, and that's it. If you want to add your home address, that's also could be good. But the best part is just keep it to your city, postal code, and your country. That's all. And the two most important parts in your CV is your portfolio and the LinkedIn profile. You have to include both of the links in your personal information. You can include by hyperlink. It makes your CV more appealing graphically, and also it looks more effective. If you have a portfolio and LinkedIn profile, then it adds more credibility and value that you have done some of the projects. We'll discuss all of the projects, that how you can include your projects in the later stages. But in today's academic world, portfolio is far more important than your CV. Because if you believe that your academic record is not that good, and if you don't want selection committee to go through each detail of your CV and you just want them to leave and select you, just include the portfolio, include best projects, and they will just click on your portfolio and they will leave your CV. They will not look at the rest of CVs. Because in academic world, everyone is looking for some of the technical guys who have done some of the projects related to their background. So portfolio is important, and also include LinkedIn. And the next section you can see job work or education. If you're a fresh graduate and you don't have much professional work experience other than internships, then your top section should be education. Include your bachelor's, that's enough. Don't include AO levels, don't include FSC metric. There is no need to include those stuff. Even if you were a topper of the board, nobody cares. They just want to see your bachelor's, what you did in bachelor's, which is the courses you have studied. Include the name of course that you pursued. For example, bachelor's in civil engineering. Include the name of university, give the link of university, address of university, and include the grades if you have very good grades. For example, you had a very good CGPA around 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 8, 9, and then you can include. If you don't have this much good CGPA, then there is no need to include your grades. And then just write 2 to 3 lines about your background, like which courses you have taken and what was your final year project, if it was relevant to the project in which you are applying. So this is the thing that you need to consider. Everything that is written on your CV should be relevant to the program or the position that you are applying. If any single detail is not relevant, you leave it, because someone else in the applicant pool will be there who is more relevant. So write only those things which are highly relevant to the project in which you are applying. Now coming to the next point is the job experience. You can include all of the internships and all of the things that you have done, and all of the technical things only. Know the job experiences. For example, you have volunteered something, we have another section for that. I will tell you how to include those parts, the volunteer work and societies work, clubs work, and all that. We will discuss all that too. So include your internships, discuss all the technical details of the internships. If you have made any reports, if you have published some papers, just mention those papers, and with whom you have worked. For example, you have worked with the professor or your supervisor, just name them, or for example their contact details you can also give there. And also on the end we will discuss. And this was the case for a fresh graduate. And now if you're an experienced professional, for example with 2 years of experience, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then work experience should be on the top and education should be on the second. That's the order that you should follow. Now, other than that, the third heading in an academic CV should be your technical skills. It should include all the softwares that you know or all the technical skills. For example, as a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer or an electrical engineer, you have learned some skills. For example, FEM, and there are so many technical skills that people learn in their field. Include those skills, include those softwares here, that a selection committee knows that this person has this skills, and don't include that personal speaking skills, like I have a leadership skills, I have speaking skills, just technical skills. They want to know which technical skills do you have. They don't want to know about your personal life or something. Like, we will create another section for that too. But here you have to include only technical skills relevant to your academic background or the program in which you are applying. And now comes the most important part, your research projects. If you have done any semester project or research project that is relevant, just include here just 2 to 3 lines to explain that project. You can include around 5 to 6 projects at max, and I think that's enough. If you have more than that, include everything in your portfolio and give the link of that portfolio. And also, if you don't want to explain your projects, just write 2 to 3 lines and give link to your portfolio. You can say just click here for details. That's simple. This is the best way to explain your project. Give links to your portfolio and they can see your code, they can see your graphics and everything they can see online on your portfolio. And that's also psychological impact. Not so many people create portfolios in engineering disciplines or other technical disciplines other than computer science, because some people see portfolio as a thing of computer scientists, not the technical guys from other engineering disciplines. So I think if you have a portfolio, this will really add value. If you want me to make a video on portfolio, how to build a portfolio, how I built my portfolio, just ask me in the comment and I will make a video. By the way, if you have any question, you can always ask me in the comments. I will always try to reply to all of the comments that I receive. And now coming to the next heading, if you have any publications or research papers, you need to include all of those publications here. And I think that's really add value to your academic profile, because research is something that you have to do in a master's degree or in a PhD. So selection committee is also looking for publications. If you have any, you have to include it. And if you don't have, don't worry, you have to do some quality research projects, because I got acceptance into all of the PhD positions without a single publication. So you can do the same, because I know I had a very good research experience, far better than so many people who have some 2 to 3 publications. So I didn't publish, but I have very, very good research experience. So you have to pitch your good research experience in a way that publications are minimized. So mention everything in research projects, but in a technical way. And now coming to the next point, if you have presented in any conference or you have taken any presentations, you can include in this section. You can also merge it with your research papers or publication section, but it really depends if you have done anything similar or not. So it really depends. Now another important point, if you're applying in Europe, if you're applying for a job or you're applying for a PhD position, or even if you're applying for a master's, language proficiency in Europe is something that selection committee is looking for. They are looking for someone if they can speak the local languages, or they can only speak English, or which languages they can speak. So language skills are also important in Europe, not in USA, not in UK, not in Australia, but in Europe it's really important that you speak local languages. So they are also looking for local languages. Include the local language. If you have basic knowledge, if you have intermediate knowledge of any language, for example French, Spanish, German, then you have to include those languages. And now coming to the volunteer part, because technical part of your CV is covered. And if you get acceptance in any PhD program or any good research master's program, I'm telling you, you will only get acceptance because of your technical part, not because of your volunteer part. Because volunteer part is just volunteer, it's an extra part. It just adds value to your profile. If you are dumb in your technical way, they're not going to accept you. You have to be strong in your field, in your core field. You have to done some research projects, you have to done some of the publications, you have to explain your academic background in a good way. And now it comes the volunteer part. So you can explain the volunteer part of your academic CV in a variety of headings. For example, you can go with management experiences, then you can also go with volunteer experiences, and the other possibility is you name everything as volunteer experiences. And if you had, for example, management experiences, you led some of the clubs, you have worked as a president, you have worked as a general secretary or something like that in your university, in your college, you can include all of those experiences here. And if you have worked with any NGO, you have volunteered for something, you can also include in this section. And if you want to make a separate heading for that, you can also make a separate heading for that. For example, you can mark it as a community services. And then there is the last part of honors and awards. If you have won any prestigious scholarship previously, you should mention those scholarships here. For example, if you have won any award, or if you have won any scholarship which is a merit-based scholarship, if you have been to a dean's list for 4 times, 5 times, you have to include all of this here. So I think this is a very good academic CV that I have explained. The most important part in any academic CV is your research projects and your portfolio. Even if you are not from engineering or a technical background, portfolio should be must. Even arts students have portfolio, social sciences students have portfolio. Today's academic world is really depending on the work that you have already done, and they want to see that what you have done it, and the selection committee wants to see how you have done that work and what work and what skills do you have. So that's important. So if you have any question, floor is open for you. You can ask me in the comments. So that's all for this video. If you're still watching this video, just comment below scholarships with Usman Bhai so that I know how many people are sincere with themselves, because that's important. If you're not sincere with yourself, nobody can help you. See you in the next video.